Peace, y'all. This is Nikisha with FavorFlowRestorative as we release harmony, mind, body, and soul. So I came in because I want to speak about, I've been laying low. I've been moving silently. And it's not because of fear. It's not because I feel unsafe. It's because I am literally on my own journey. And as I considered being on my own journey, I considered what it would be like to live in a world where everybody focused in on their own journey. So, and sitting with myself and being on my own journey, I notice there's a lot going on in the world. I notice there's a lot going on locally. I notice that there's a lot going on with people that are around me. But I also recognize that this journey that we take has levels and cycles to it. And the knowledge of self is so important to figure out when your cycles are. When do they land for you? What are the things that you should be working on in this moment? And I'm not just talking about healing. I'm talking about just overall. So for me right now, it's ego death. It's getting rid of an identity that I have resonated with for 19 years. 19 years I've resonated with this one way of being able to describe who I was, or that I identified myself as. So what I had to recognize in saying goodbye is that endings are merely beginnings. We bring children into the world and we celebrate their birth. We get new jobs and we celebrate promotions. We get new cars, clothes, houses, and there's a celebration. But how or do we celebrate the new beginnings that come into our life? Or are we comfortable and we fight to stay in the same cycle? Because new beginnings, although they deserve even more of a celebration from us, they are the most difficult transition in our journey. It's not just like getting new clothes or houses, or it's a totally new way of being. And what I recognized with some of the belief systems that I grew up with was being this born again person. But nobody spoke about the fact that I would have to continue to be born again during my journey in order to get to that goal that was on the other side, which was my purpose. I have continued to die to myself several lifetimes in one lifetime. Because many people are just doing the letter O. They're looping, when in actuality we should be spiraling out. Here's the middle. This is where you were born. You spiral out. And with every rotation, it's supposed to get more expansive. You're moving out of who you came here as. So for those people that like you've known since middle school and they're the same person, it's comfortable. Not much has changed. You know that you know that person, but is that existence for their good? So embracing that endings are merely beginnings. One friend leaves, another one comes. One teacher leaves, another one comes. One opportunity leaves, another door opens. Like, why would it not? Humans are the only ones who think that it makes sense to look at things outside of universal law. Every light, every demon, darkness, brightness, they all are governed under universal law. Even if you read the commandments of the Bible or any of it's all universal law. And if it doesn't fall under universal law, it is false. Because you can go out into nature and see universal law happening. And nature doesn't have to think about it. We are the ones with will. We're the ones that use energies in inappropriate ways based on our will, what we will to do. So that brings me to the next one. When we will to do, it can cause us adversity. And sometimes the adversity is within us, and sometimes it's outside of us. Within, without. How do you have one without the other? So what I've told myself, because all of us face adversity. So what I've told myself is that adversity gives me an opportunity to learn. Truly. So when those towers do come, what do I get an opportunity to learn here? How do I get to become a better person here? How do I get to change a behavior here? How do I get to recognize a part of my consciousness that I had not seen before here? Because I got stopped because the universe loves me enough not to allow me to keep bumping my head. That adversity came to show me a piece of myself that I needed to see. So for me to be upset with anybody outside of myself, that's wasted energy. Because this is whose journey? It's your journey. Everybody else is just a player. They're coming to do what they're supposed to do. You mad at somebody for coming in your life and doing what they're supposed to do? No, I'm not gonna mess with them no more though. Like, I got sense. Like, you're not about to come back into my realm, into my energy, because I know how valuable I am. I know how beautiful I am, inside and out, right? But I will give you thanks, and I will send you with grace, and I will send you with unconditional love because you gave me an opportunity to learn, and that is a gift. So I don't have any enemies. I don't even, it's hard to say that word. I don't have them. I have admirers. And I have players that came and did what they were supposed to do because the universe loves me and they love me too. Anyone who's come in contact with me loves me. They love me too. They may not admit it, but they love me because they did what they were supposed to do in my life for me to be able to be who I am in this timeline. That's love. Anybody who comes into your life to give you a gift, it's still love. Now, the way that they may have shown it may have been like an unhealed, distorted version of love, but it's love nonetheless. Because guess what? I'm still moving. Highest timeline, still moving. More happy than I've ever been, still moving. Which brings me to my third point, is that I did some serious inner child work. And I thought it was supposed to be like the 10 to 14 aged person, little person, young person. It was actually the 4-year-old. It was the 4-year-old, the one that needed to feel safe and protected. She was who needed me. How would I have known that had I not the information, had I not even just sat down with myself to understand that I was grieving, that I was sad. Like, all these wonderful things were happening and I was sad. I was grieving. So this isn't a point that I wanted to make, but this is definitely a point that I will make. Give yourself time to grieve and be sad. I'm not saying just sit in it and grovel in it, but it lives in your body. It lives in your emotional body. It lives when you decide not to let it go, or not to face it, or not to deal with it, or not to talk to it. Like, what I learned is that everything has consciousness. Everything. You can talk to everything. So when we give ourselves the self-care that we need, accountability, and tune into our bodies, self-care, to do a body scan to kind of see where do we feel it? Where do you feel it? It gives you an opportunity for it to talk to you. All those thoughts that we think during the day where we're like, I don't have time for this, I don't have time to deal with this, I'm not. But when do you make time? Are we being consistent with our meditative practices so that we do give ourselves time? Because balance is of the utmost importance right now. This energy is whack. This propaganda is whack. This fear-mongering, this way of sacrificing others instead of sacrificing yourself, sacrificing your habits, sacrificing your limiting beliefs, sacrificing what it is that you choose to do, but you want to sacrifice somebody outside of you. What? There's a long legacy of this behavior that has existed. No more. Mother, Father, Gaia are serious about this universal law. The law of cause and effect. The law of energy exchange. The law of correspondence. And so when we dive deeper into ourselves for these reasons, for a change of consciousness, because that's what it takes, because we are but products of those who came before us. And what I've been grateful to understand is that my ancestors did not have the opportunities I had. They were all fighting to be who I am today. How dare I not stand up? It's a disservice to them. It's a smack in their face. There was a phase that needed to be completed where I was to be a distant observer in what was going on, because I had created soul contracts with others to give them an opportunity to be something different than what they were. And because I stay committed to my commitments, now I have the power to bust fully open the belief system that I bought into to allow for that foolishness in the first place. Because the foolishness in the belief system is really the foundation of the generational curses. That foolishness. Find out what the foolishness is in your family. I was granted, I have the best grandparents in the world. They literally, I knew to go to the cabinet and get out that scrapbook and go through those obituaries and the Bibles and find out what is going on from where I came from. Don't give me the beautiful stories. Give me the mess. Because I know what I came here for. I need to know the mess. And y'all, from experience, ensure that whomever that you are having children with, that you understand their stuff too, because when you have that baby comes with both of yours. So it's not just you that you have to be worried about, your own bloodlines. It's the other bloodline that you're crossing with, because you create this product and you can't help them on this side if you don't know about the other side. You can't assist and guide what you don't understand or know about, what you don't know is coming. You can't prepare for that. And I know that sometimes culturally we're just not honest about that, but this is not the time to be keeping secrets. It's time to heal. We need to be very, very honest about what is going on in our bloodlines. There's some sick shit going on. I mean, you look at the 7 deadly sins, you're like, damn, this is in the bloodline? And I feel like all of us have it. I think that's the reason why we live in the world that we do, is because it's just running rampant. Who will stand and be that witch? Because let me just say, you can say that you're the curse killer all day, that you're here to break the generational curses, but it is not an easy road. You pretty much set yourself up to go through everything that they went through, plus whatever that they didn't even get to. You literally send yourself through that pathway. And it's difficult. It's not easy. It's not. It's not. But we are not on these journeys by ourselves. And that's why I give thanks to everyone who's on my journey. I don't care what part you played. Like, without you on my journey, I wouldn't be here, right? So with that, I just ask that you give thought to restructuring your belief system based on your life's purpose. Like, life is bigger than we could ever know. And it's not just about you. What you do, how you think, the way you feel has a ripple effect on those people that are around you. We are all on a web together, and every time that web jumps, we all feel the jump. We all feel it. And so this is the exercise that I did with my daughter. I asked her, I said, think of situations that made you have to take a stand. What was that stance and why? And from those situations, then you understand what your core beliefs are. Because if you don't have any core beliefs, somebody else can create those for you. This is going to be the time that we stand in our core beliefs. I've lived my life a long time being misunderstood for who I know I am. But I'm no longer in a place where I allow myself to care about who's accepting me. I'll tell you what freedom is to me. It's living with no fear. Because when you make decisions that are in alignment with your core values, when your core values are in alignment with universal law, the universe, God, source, ancestors, guides, they all got your back. Because they can trust your heart. They can trust your intent. So right now is a time for cleansing the heart. Heart disease is at an all-time high because there are so many broken hearts, so many unhealed hearts. So the reason why I even bother to come on camera is because I feel that it's important to share the real about this journey. I feel it's important to share whenever I receive nuggets. I don't know who needs it, and I don't know why this is necessary, but am I going to be disobedient? That's not how I roll. I learned who to be obedient to, okay? So I will that this message gave you some insight and some things to think about. I really appreciate you sharing space with me to discuss. And if there are other things that you'd like to discuss on the channel, please, I'm open to topics. So, this is Nikisha, FavorFlowRestorative, Harmony Unleashed, Mind, Body, and Soul. Y'all be good. Peace.